Hello, comrades. In the holiday spirit, I wanted to do another video. So, a couple years ago, I'm revealing this for the first time publicly. It was dark like it is now in my room, back at the old apartment. I was half asleep, half awake. They say when you're in the state of half asleep, half awake, you could be hypnotized, you could have visions, and occasionally in my life I've had visions. And I had a vision, and this was shortly after my comrade Kevin Z's passed away. And Kevin came to me, and I could actually physically see him. But when he spoke to me with like static in his voice, but I could hear what he said. And he said, "Keep doing what you're doing. I'm with you." And then he went away. The next day I got a phone call from DC, from Garland Nixon, who knew Kevin. The first time I spoke with Garland, and he wanted me to come on his show Sputnik, which I went on several times on the Sputnik radio show to talk about our cause. And that encouraged me to move on. To move forward. Move on implies that you're no longer grieving that person. I'll always grieve Kevin. It was an honor to work for a short time with his son, his elder son, Alex Z's, who wrote the foreword to Embassy Protectors. I was not able to complete the film about our actions at the Venezuelan embassy that Kevin led. And I know Kevin all the way back from Occupy days more than 10 years ago. But that book, touched on what we did at the Venezuelan embassy in D.C. to protect it. And I got to go to Venezuela a couple years later in 2021 in person to observe elections there, or accompany them in their electoral process as a witness and tell them about that, about what we did. A lot of the Venezuelans and the Chavistas especially were familiar with that. But why would Kevin, out of all the people he knew, because he was an activist, a lawyer for a long time, decide on the other side to come to speak to me? Because I think that he saw through the lies that he was told about me from the other side. They say when you go to the other dimension, you see all the truth. And he saw what was in my heart. And he said, I was wrong. Alex was not an opportunist. Of course, even before he died, when he was still in this dimension, him and I reconciled. We had some differences towards the end because people tried to get between us and lied to him about me. But in the end, we were back in touch before he passed. But I think when he got to the other side, he saw the injustice. He said, how could they have treated Al this way? He really was there for me. He saw what happened. He said, I need to give him a vision where he can actually see me to help encourage him along. And I think that's why Kevin did that for me. And I'll always be grateful. A lot of people don't believe in this spiritual stuff. I'm not saying I'm psychic or anything like that, but visions do come to me from time to time. And that's been in my writings, in my revolutionary writings. Thank you, friends and comrades, and happy holidays.